press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from अड्डा 247. बेल आइकन दबाइए, अड्डा 247 की सारी नोटिफिकेशंस पाइए. अड्डा 247, गवर्नमेंट जॉब इन योर पॉकेट.
Hi friends, and welcome to the Hindu Editorial Analysis of 23rd of March. This is Saurabh Day and you are watching the English version of today's analysis. If you want the Hindi version of the analysis, you will get the link of the same on the YouTube channel of our video 247, and you'll also get the link in the comment section. Now my dear friends, let's take a look at the motivational quote that we have here for you. So, stars can't shine without darkness. Now, I think this is something that all of us should really get this to the core. See, the thing is, the main point is, until and unless there's darkness all around, until and unless there's problems all around, superheroes or perhaps heroes are not made and stars don't shine, alright? So, if you are surrounded by darkness and if you're surrounded by problems, then don't think that why is this happening with you? What have you done to deserve such things? See, the thing is that you are a star and you are supposed to shine in darkness. So no matter how many problems you're surrounded with, if you really are determined, if you are a star, if you are a hero, you will be able to chalk your way out of that. Alright, my dear friends? So remember, stars can't shine without darkness. Now, let's take a look at the e-paper that we have here for you. So here's the e-paper, my dear friends. Terms of separation. Now this is perhaps regarding a particular community in the down south, you know, and so perhaps this is regarding their rights. It's about the Lingayats, by the way. Now anyway guys, I think all those of you who are preparing for UPSC exams or state PCS exams, this might be a pretty important article for you. So I think you should take a look at this for sure. Now I left over here CA, Facebook and you. So this is actually regarding a very controversial thing in which Facebook has got entangled recently, and they have lost a lot of their shares, by the way, and we are going to analyze this article as well. So let me tell you, it's a very important article. So all those of you who are social networking heroes and can't really get your phones off Facebook, this is actually specially designed for you, and it's also important for various examinations of our nation. Now going downstairs, well, here, meeting India's electricity needs. So yesterday it was World Water Day, and today we're going to talk about electricity as well. So perhaps how do we meet the electricity need of the second most populated country in the world? The answer lies in this article, and we are going to analyze this article for sure. Now I left over here curbing misuse. So a few days ago the Supreme Court had ruled that SC/ST Act has been misused a lot among the bureaucrats. So perhaps this particular analysis, this particular article, by the way, is regarding the same. So I'm pretty sure that you are going to gain a lot of knowledge if you go through this particular article. It's a pretty important article for all UPSC exams, so you should definitely take a look at this one for sure. Now, so is economy back on track? Now this is a very good GD topic, so if you are preparing for any particular topic like this, you can definitely go through this particular opinion-based article. And not only that, it's also good. It's also a good interview, also good opinion-based interview from exam point of view, from bank or insurance exam point of view. So you should take a look at this. I'm sure it's going to be very useful for you. Now, protecting our data. So laws to do this are non-existent in India. Now this is once again what happened, that issue of Facebook. So this is once again regarding the same. So about the data breach of Facebook. So that's the point over here, my dear friends. If you want to take a look at this, you can definitely take a look at this for sure. Now, so guys, let's come back to the center screen once again. So I just gave you a review of all the important articles that we had today. Now today, if we just see, yesterday I suppose we had around 2-3 political based article, and then I had commented that it looks like these days the Hindu is giving us a lot of political based articles, and it appears that today the number of political articles got reduced to just one. It's really good to see that. Okay, so perhaps they do see the editorial analysis as well. Now let's see the first article that we have here for you. So CA, Facebook and you. Now the controversy is a wake-up call to press ahead with the robust data protection law. So perhaps we need a robust and ever-changing data protection law, and that's the point over here. So the world has just learned how a data analytics firm's Cambridge Analytica harvested the data of 50 million Facebook users and used the information to feed strategies such as behavioral, micro-targeting and psychographic messaging for Donald Trump's presidential campaign in the US. Chris Whaley, a former CIA employee turned whistleblower, set off a storm, revelations or set a storm with revelations of how the company had deployed a psychological warfare tool for the alt-right media guru Steve Bannon to try to sway the election in Mr. Trump's favor. So perhaps, the world has just learned how a data analytics firm, perhaps a firm which analyzes data, that's called Cambridge Analytica, how vested, they control the data, which is supposed to be a safe data of 50 million Facebook users, and use that information to feed strategies, to nurture strategies such as behavioral micro-targeting and psychographic messaging for Donald Trump's presidential campaign in the US. Chris Whaley, a former CIA employee turned whistleblower, set off a storm with revelations of how the company had deployed psychological warfare tool for alt-right media guru Steve Bannon to try to sway the elections in the favor of Donald Trump, the current US president. All right, now, so perhaps a lot of murky stuff going on over here. Well, the CA chief executive, Alexander Nix, who was suspended a few days ago following an undercover report by British TV broadcaster, said that the company has used other dubious methods in the projects worldwide, including honey traps to discredit clients' opponents. So perhaps, the chief of this particular Analytica company, the chief executive, Alexander Nix, who was suspended, by the way, just a few days ago after an undercover report of a British TV broadcaster, he very clearly said that this is nothing, Company has even used other dubious and doubtful methods and dark methods in projects worldwide, including honey trapping people to discredit clients' opponents, So perhaps this is something which is really, really damn serious. Let's see what do we have here in question number 1 for you. Okay, so what exactly is the synonym for the word deploy? You have to tell me that, my dear friends. Well, your, options are use, conclude, end, and finish. So what exactly is the synonym of the word deploy from these options? By the way, finish means to end something, and end means the end of something. Conclude, once again means to finish up something. Use means to perhaps use something, utilize something. So I think till now you would have answered, by the way of this question, you would have answered the thing. Well, it's 1-1. Deploy means to use something. Okay, so you can write in the comment section, deploy equals to use. Deploy equals to use. Deploy equals to use, because deploy means to use something. It means to utilize something. Now, let's come back to the e-paper once again. So, the combination of using personal data without consent and tailoring slander campaigns, fake news and propaganda to discovered preferences of voters is a potent and corrosive cocktail. So perhaps if you combine the personal data of users without, consent, without their agreement, and also, tailor slander campaigns, fake news, and also propaganda to discovered features of voters, is extremely potent and harmful and corrosive cocktail. So the thing is that, it's just about creating an entire fake propaganda just because of your own selfish thing. All right. So Facebook has said it has policies in 2014 when a personality profiling app was run on its platform, permitting the developer to scrape data not only from those who downloaded the app but also from the profiles of their Facebook friends. So perhaps, Facebook had admitted that its policies in 2014, its policies in 2014, a personality profiling app was run on the platform of Facebook, which permitted the developer of, of Facebook, by the way, to scrape data not only from those who download the app, but also the profiles of their Facebook friends. So then what happened? Yet it did not make sure the data were destroyed by the app's developer Alexander Kogan, a Cambridge University academic, nor by CIA itself when it came to light. But Mr. Kogan had sold the data to CA, a third-party. Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has offered an apology and expressed willingness to cooperate with inquiries and potentially open up Facebook to regulation. So once again, so that's the point over here, the developer of that app, by the way, who was Alexander Kogan. So he was the developer of that platform, which was able to get any particular user's data right away. Not only users' data who downloaded the Facebook app, but also the data of the friends of the people who operated the Facebook app. So, you know, this guy, Alexander Kogan, he was the guy who developed this particular app. And in fact, it was not deleted by Facebook once the project was finished. And after that, this Alexander Kogan, he was a Cambridge University academic, you know, he sent that, he sold that system to CA, this analytical company, which is the third party. Now, Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has decided to offer, and he actually offered an apology and expressed willingness that he is going to cooperate. He's currently willing to cooperate with all the inquiries and also open Facebook to regulation as well. So perhaps, you know, this is what we just learned in the first half of this particular article. Let's see question number 2 that we have here for you. So, which of the following is not true according to para 1? So, now statement A says the company had deployed a psychological warfare tool for alt-right media guru Steve Bannon to try to sway the election in Mr. Trump's favor. Then, you know, statement B says the combination of using personal data with the consent and tailoring slander campaigns, fake news and propaganda to discovered, preferences of voters is a potent and corrosive cocktail. Then statement C says Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has offered a rejection of apology and expressed willingness to cooperate with inquiries and potentially open up Facebook to regulations. Well, you know what? You have to get the not true over here. Options are only A, only B, only C, only A and C, only B and C. So you have to get which of the following is not true. You can pause the video and search the answer, by the way. Well, let me just tell you, it's option C over here, my dear friends. Because see, you're talking about which of the following is not true. It has to be option C because it says, it reads like this. Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has offered a rejection of apology. Alright, he offered an apology, not a rejection of the same. So that's why option number 3, only C is the answer. You can write in the comment section 2-3, only C is the answer. Okay, now let's come back to the e-paper once again. So, the episode, by the way, this episode has brought to light several issues that need to be addressed. First, companies have been collecting data and tailoring marketing campaigns accordingly. Alright, so this is something that's really not done, because the thing is that, a lot of companies have been collecting such data and also tailoring and marketing campaigns, nurturing marketing campaigns accordingly in their own way. The issue here is particularly prickly, alright, it's extremely prickly because policies and elections are involved. Alright, so perhaps this particular issue over here is extremely prickly and also very pointy because politics and elections are involved in this particular thing. Now, second point over here, regardless whether what Facebook and CA did was legal or not, something is broken in a policy environment in which the data of millions are taken and used when only 270,000 people knowingly or unknowingly gave consent. So perhaps, whether Facebook and CA did a legal thing or not, something definitely broke a policy environment in which the data of millions were taken, and perhaps used only when 270,000 people knowingly or unknowingly gave consent. Now, the third point that we can learn from over here is technology is evolving at a rapid pace, raising the questions whether laws need to be reframed, mandating an opt-out approach universally rather than an opt-in approach. So perhaps the third point that has come to light over here, let's see, technology is evolving, at a very, very rapid pace, and the thing is, it's raising questions whether the laws need to be reframed, once again mandating and making it compulsory for an opt-out approach universally, at the world level rather than just an opt-in approach. All right. Then individuals often share the data without being aware of it or understanding the implication of privacy terms and conditions. So many a time, individuals share the data without being aware of it or understanding the implications or results of privacy, terms and conditions. But anyway, now let's see once again question number 3 that we have here for you. Let's see about that. Question number 3, thank you. So what exactly is the synonym for the word implication from these options over here? They are measurement, reality, result and truth. Alright, now see. Truth means the truth, the reality, the truth. result means the final result of something, then reality means something which is the truth, right? Then measurement means to measure something up, all right? See, implication synonym over here has to be option number 3, result. There is absolutely no other thing, because implication means the final result of something. So you can write in the comment section, implication equals to result, implications equals to result, implication equals to result. Now see, many of you have a question that why do I ask you to write down this thing in the comment section? Because see, the thing is that, you know, when you write something down, you actually tend to learn it, all right? So I want you to improve your vocabulary, and that is why whenever we have a vocab question, I ask you to type that down in the comment section, because in one way or the other, you are improving your own chance of learning this new word. Okay, my dear friends, now let's go back to the e-paper once again. Okay, so perhaps we have got the thing that the three things that we just learned from this particular recent happening. Now, the fourth point over here is there must be clear laws on the ownership of data and what need to be protected, all right? So perhaps something we need a very clear, crystal clear law on the point of the ownership of data and what exactly needs to be protected in it. Personal data cannot be the new oil, all right? So personal data cannot be the new fuel, by the way, all right? Now, individuals must own it, have a right to know what companies and governments know about them, and in most cases that is when there are no legitimate security or public interest anywhere, public interest reasons, have the right to have their data destroyed. All right, so people, individuals, must know, all right, what exactly is going on with them. They have a right to know what companies and governments know about them, and in most of the cases, when there's absolutely no legal security or public interest reasons, they have the right, individuals have the right to have their data destroyed. All right, the CA issue is a wake-up call for India. The government is still dragging its feet on framing a comprehensive and robust data protection law. That's the point over here, my dear friends. So I hope, guys, that you were able to get the point of this particular article. You were able to understand how badly Facebook, has actually, broken all of our trust. Now let's see question number 3. In fact, question number 4 that we have here for you. So, which of the following is true according to the paragraph? This is the question over here. Now, you have to get the true statement, my dear friends. Now, see, statement A for you is companies have been collecting data and tailoring marketing campaigns accordingly. Statement B is technology is evolving at a rapid pace, raising the question whether laws need to be reframed, mandating and making it compulsory, an opt-out approach universally rather than an opt-in approach. Then statement C says over here, the CS solution is a wake-up call for India. The government is still, perhaps dragging its feet, by the way. The government is still, dragging its, its feet on framing comprehensive and robust data protection law. So it needs a law, by the way. Now, anyway, option number 1 is only A. Option number 2 is only B, by the way. Now, I seriously need my laptop to be recharged. That's the point over here, because we need to continue this shoot. So please make sure that the laptop gets recharged. I need to connect the battery over here. So, the CA solution is a wake-up call for India. The government is still dragging its feet on framing a comprehensive and robust data protection law. So, these are the 3 points that we have over here, my dear friends. Now, once again, so see, options are only A. First option is only A over here. All right, second one is only B over here. Third one is only C over here. Fourth is only C and A. And fifth is only B and A, my dear friends. So, what do you think is the correct answer for this particular question? That is up to you, because you seriously need to give me a correct answer right away. So, now, see, the thing is, if you just analyze these options once again, option A says companies have been collecting, data and tailoring marketing campaigns accordingly. So perhaps, the thing is that, we have lost control on our own data, all right? So it's companies who have been constantly collecting data and, making out campaigns and, nurturing campaigns the way they want to do it. So perhaps, is this true? What do you say about this? Is this the way how it's done? My dear friends, was this given in your particular, paragraph? Now, then the next point over here is, my dear friends, for you. Statement B says technology is evolving at a rapid pace, raising the questions whether laws need to be reframed once again. So perhaps mandating or making it compulsory an opt-out approach universally rather than an opt-in approach. Is this true according to this particular paragraph? What do you say about that? And statement C says the CA solution is actually a wake-up call for India. The government is still dragging its feet on framing a comprehensive and robust data protection law. So see, you have to choose which of the following is true. Now, statement A and statement B, both of these are actually correct, but statement C is not true, my dear friends. Okay, so that is why we have to choose option only B and A as the answer, and I hope you chose the same. So my dear friends, that was all about the first article that we have here for you. But now the thing is that now we're going to take a look at the next very important article that we have here, which is actually more about something that all of us need to be extremely serious about. Yes, it's about electricity, my dear friends. So without any further delay, let's see the next article that we have here for you. So it's meetings India's electricity needs. All right. So perhaps the central grid, till the central grid becomes reliable, a solar and wind powered microgrid is the way to light up remote areas. So perhaps India is actually planning to have a central grid, but then again, till the time it actually comes to full power, we need to have some solar and wind powered central grids, microgrids, that we are able to provide electricity to remote areas of the nation. Now, one often comes across news about variable renewable energy sources like solar, photovoltaic and wind having reached grid parity. All right. So perhaps many a time people come across news about variable renewable energy resources like sources like solar, photovoltaic and wind having reached the grid parity or grid equality. What is the concept of grid parity? Now let's understand that. What exactly is grid equality? See, electricity grid is a very complex system. It involves long distance transmission of electricity at high voltage, step up and step down transformers and distribution networks as load centers. Various electricity generators and consumers are connected to it. So electricity grid, see, it's a very, very complex system. It involves a large distance transmission of electricity at high voltage, at very high voltage, step up and step down transformers, and also a distribution network and load centers which are there. Various electricity generators and consumers are connected with the same. Now, let's understand more about this, my dear friends. Let's go downstairs. So, complex networks. Now, grid equality or parity can be in two different ways: generator and grid parity, and consumer and grid parity. So, these are the two ways of grid parity that can be there. Now, generator and grid parity is actually limited to the plant boundary and does not include the cost of the grid system. So, generator and grid parity is only limited to the plant boundary, all right, the plant boundary of electricity plant, all right. It does not, include the cost of the grid system. Now, then what happens? To ensure that electricity is always available, consumers on reliable basis, a grid manager has to contract enough electricity supply from generators available on demand at all times. So, to make sure that electricity is always available to the consumers on a reliable basis, a grid manager has to contract enough electric supply from generators that is available on demand at all the times. Now, in India, the peak demand occurs in the evening when solar is not available and wind may or may not be blowing. So that's the point over here. So as far as our nation is concerned, the main primary demand of electricity, at its peak occurs in the evening when sunlight or solar definitely is not available. It's night, and then again wind may or may not be blowing. So therefore, the capacity of generators capable of dispatching electricity on demands, it definitely reduces itself. Dispatchable resources connected to the grid should be more than the peak load. So that's extremely important over here. Now, my dear friends, before we take a look at the last para, let's see what do we have here in the question number 5 that we have here for you. So, what exactly is the antonym for the word parity? We just talked about lots of parity, grid parity and that parity and this parity over here. So, what exactly is parity? You know, what's the antonym of parity over here? The options are consistency, difference, uniformity, and affinity. Now see, affinity once again means equal, uniformity means equalness, you know. Consistency means constantly doing something, all right. And difference means when there's a difference. So, I hope you till now would have got the answer. See, parity means equality, all right. So, the antonym of parity has to be option number 2, difference, my dear friends. That means parity is not equal to difference is the answer. You can write in the comment section, parity equals to equality, parity equals to equality, parity equals to equality, because parity means equality. Now, let's go to the e-paper once again, my dear friends. So, see, it has to be more. It has to be more because some generators will be under long-term maintenance and some will not be available for short-term due to technical faults, all right. So, definitely the peak load needs to be more because some generators will be under long-term maintenance and some will not be available for short-term due to technical faults. The cost of the grid system is therefore more than the cost of the towers, wires and transformers. So, perhaps the cost of the grid system which is involved is actually more than the cost of the towers, wires and transformers. You know, it also includes capital and operating cost of storage capacity when provided for and the capacity charge paid by the grid manager to meet the peak load. So, perhaps, you know, it includes a lot of capital and operating costs of the storage capacity whenever it's provided for, and also the capacity charge paid by the grid manager to meet the peak load. All right. So, when a grid manager is not able to pay adequate capacity charge, the result is actually load shedding. So, whenever a grid manager is unable to pay adequate and complete capacity charge, the result, by the way, is load shedding, and because of which, you know, electricity goes off right away. So, perhaps now, my dear friends, let's take a look at the Parajumble that we have here for you. So, here's a very beautiful 6-sentence Parajumble, and I'm sure that you'd love this and you'll be able to give me the correct answer, my dear friends. Simply do three steps. First of all, try to find the first independent statement, which is the subject. Then try to find the logical pairs, by the way, and then, by the way, simply try to arrange those logical pair in the correct line, aligning them properly. Okay. So, pause the video right now and try to find your Parajumble. I hope you paused the video, my dear friends. Now, let's see the answer that we have here for you. So, it's BAFDCE. BAFDCE. Now, see, statement B starts from here. One often comes across news about variable renewable energy. So, perhaps, you know, this is the main subject over here, variable renewable energy. Now, let's see the second part. Now, connected by B that says sources like solar, photovoltaic and wind have reached grid parity. Now, here's, you know, here's something more of it. So, perhaps you just got, what do you say, a qualifier of subject over here which adds more information about the subject. What is the concept of grid parity? So, once again, now over here, we're going to talk about some action, some verb. Electricity grid is a very complex system. All right. So, now statement D over here, it involves a long distance transmission of electricity at high voltage. Okay, so that's the point over here. Then statement C says step up and step down transformers and a distribution network at load centers. So this is another, you know, what do you say, it's object is the object over here. Then statement E says various electricity generators and consumers are connected to it. So this is actually, you can say, what do you say, the qualifier of the object. So that's the point over here, my dear friends. So these are the things over here. This is the order, and I hope you got the same. Now let's see what's question number 7 for us, my dear friends. Let's see about that. Next one, please. Okay. So right here for you, grid parity can be saw in two different ways: generator end and grid parity, and consumer end grid parity. Now, what do you think, guys, is the correct answer over here? You know, what do you think, which part in this particular question contains an error? I'd like to know your opinion over here. So, see, if you feel that the answer is in part 1 of question number 7, you can simply type 7-1 in the comment section. If you feel the error is in part 2, you can simply type 7-2 in the comment section. If you feel the error is in part 3, you can simply type 7-3 in the comment section. If you feel the error is in part 4, you can simply type 7-4 in the comment section. And if you feel there is no error over here, you can simply type 7-5 in the comment section. So pause the video and search the error in question number 7. Now, I think you found the error. See, the thing is, whenever we use the word can be, whenever you use the term can be, it is followed by the third form of verb. So, it cannot be can be saw, it has to be can be seen. Okay. So, can be is followed by third form of verb, and that's why it should be can be seen and not can be saw in the first part of question. So, 7-1 is the answer over here. Now, question number 8, it has to be more because some generators will under long-term maintenance and some will not be available for short term due to technical fault. So, what exactly is the answer over here? What's the error in question number 8? You have to find that. Pause the video and try to find that. So, I hope you were able to get that, my dear friends. Now, once again, read the questions over here properly. It has to be more because some generators will under long-term maintenance, alright, some under long-term maintenance and some will not be available for short-term due to technical faults. Do you find any error, my dear friends? Did you find any error? Once again, let's read this. It has to be more because some generators will under long-term maintenance and some will not be, perhaps some will not be available for the short term due to technical faults. No, there doesn't seem to be any error over here, in your question number 8. So that is the answer, and I hope that you were able to give the correct answer over here, my dear friends. That's the answer. So it's no error. 8-5, no error is your answer. All right, now let's come back to the center screen once again. So people, that was all in today's editorial analysis. I hope you did learn a lot, and please like the video. If you like the video, comment your feedback in the comment section. Also share the video with your friends. So peace out.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Adda 247. बेल आइकन दबाइए, अड्डा 247 की सारी नोटिफिकेशंस पाइए। अड्डा 247, गवर्नमेंट जॉब इन योर पॉकेट।